Okay, here we go, our second part to making a surfboard, a wood surfboard. Just a quick review, in part 1 we taught you about the wood, what kinds of wood to use, approximate size, how to set it up, and glue it. And that's where we left it, gluing overnight. Let's start shaping. Tools we're going to need are saw, square, pencil, and either sanders or hand sanding. Now from this particular piece of wood I could make one board or I could make two smaller boards. I'm choosing to make two smaller boards. And for this exercise we're going to work with the smallest of the two. Now the first thing I'm going to want to do is round off the nose. So I just go find something that's approximately the same size and draw a half circle to round off the nose. Okay, now I'm going to turn my board around and I'm just going to kind of wing it as to the design I want to come together at the base. Now for your first board, don't worry too much about the shape. Just remember, body surfers can do it without a board. And as kids, when we didn't have boards, we'd go and find anything that floated, including food trays. So shape is not all that important, especially for your first board. What we do want to do is square up the tail section. So I'm going to take a saw and just square that off quickly. Then I'm going to clamp the board to the table and begin to either saw off or sand off the nose. And one of these high-powered sanders does a great job, especially when you're working with balsa wood. With pine, you definitely want to cut it. And then we're going to turn the board around and do the same thing with the tail end. And then I'm going to work a little bit of a indentation in where the board hits the belly. Now next, I'm going to stretch out some sort of padding that I can sand the board on and the board won't get scraped. Then I'm going to clamp my board to the table and again start with a rough sanding just to smooth the board out completely. You can do a little bit of shaping while you're doing this also. And as you can see, this rough part, I'm just going to take the sander and I'm just going to smooth it out. And since I'm working with balsa, all I need is a basic design. Now I'm going to turn the board over, clamp it again to the table carefully, using the stringers as the clamp points, and then again take down the board so that it's smooth. Now I'm going to switch sanders to a lighter sander with 100 grit sandpaper and do more of the shaping of the board. Then switch to 220 and do a final shaping and soft sanding. Now I'm going to take 220 and sand the whole thing till I get it the way I want it by hand, making sure that I get it nice and smooth using the back of the hand to find the rough spots. And that's what the board should kind of look like. There we go. Now, the finish. For the first coat, I start with a stain and polyurethane blend. I'm going to start by doing the entire top of the board and then only half the outside portions of the underside. That way I can set it on top and let it dry. After it dries, I'm going to use a clear shellac and then I'm going to put a sticker on it, just for fun, because this board was made for somebody special. And then I'm going to finish the bottom of the board, and that's coat 1. Now you can put on as many coats as you want, and usually I'll go to a marine clear varnish to finish the final 3 or 4 coats. And that's it for a small hand or kickboard. As you can see, I've made many different sizes. They're all fun, and I love them all. Most important thing is, get out there and enjoy it. Good luck!